Seriously? You, the guy with a thing for unconventional looks, are on a date with a stunning beauty? Guess you finally woke up.
Could someone call the manager? I'll contact my father. Huh? Yes.
Ever since I was little, my idea of likes had always been different.
No, I'm the one who gets to look at Teacher Doi.
Let's play cops and robbers outside. For example, when all the girls in kindergarten were having their first crush stolen by Teacher Doi, and the boys had grown bored of tag and moved on to a slightly fancier version, I was...
Kazuya, all the other boys went outside. Are you sure you don't want to go?
Yeah, I'm good. I was mesmerized, staring at the Hina dolls. My name is Kazuya Hashimoto, 4 years old. The princess in a 12-layered kimono displayed in the classroom was my first love. Teacher, I'm gonna marry the Hina doll.
Kazuya, the Hina doll is already married. No matter how much you like her, you can't.
Huh? Why not?
Because only a scumbag steals another man's wife. I won't allow it. I'll make them pay alimony and drag them both to the depths of hell.
Okay, I'll give up on married ladies. And so, thanks to my teacher at the time, I was successfully prevented from becoming a lifelong Netori fan. But my tastes continued to be out of sync with everyone else's. That being said, I never thought I was particularly different. I only became aware of it in 4th grade. Huh? You like her? That day, we had gathered at a friend's house after school to do homework together. Like? I mean, she's cute, right? Not just her personality, her face too. Huh? Her face? You think she's cute? No way, man! Don't laugh so much. That's rude to both me and her. I mean, yeah, she's nice, but... Alright, then who do you think is the prettiest? Strictly by looks? I should have stopped, but I was a kid back then. So, confused, I named someone else. Dude, no way! The other kids told Doki off for making fun of me, but when it came to my choices, they all agreed with him. In other words, it was clear that Doki's perception of cute and beautiful was the norm. Hashimoto, turns out you've got an ugly face fetish. And that's how I realized my tastes were different from everyone else's. Huh? Now, as an adult, I wake up an hour earlier than everyone else to increase my annual income.
That's why I, Reika Saonji, am in love with you, Hashimoto. I suppose I wouldn't mind dating you.
Kazuya Hashimoto, at 25 years old, employed at the venture company Actually Matomo, having exclusively dated women who fit the ugly category, for some reason, found himself being confessed to by a ridiculously beautiful anime-like blonde ojo-sama with drill curls. She was Reika Saionji, a fresh graduate who joined the company this year. Just as her name and appearance suggested, she was a genuine rich girl. The day she arrived, a black luxury car pulled up in front of the company, and a stunningly handsome butler stepped out to greet her, leaving the entire office in shock. Why did someone who clearly doesn't need to be here join a company full of people desperate to raise their annual salaries? Incidentally, her butler's name was apparently Francois. Why me? We've never even spoken before. She was still in training and hadn't been assigned to a department yet, meaning we had zero interaction.
Do I need a reason to fall in love? I confessed because I like you. It's as simple as that.
Oh.
So, what's your answer? But don't rush. I am me, after all. I understand a man's desire to play it cool.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I can't return your feelings, Reika. I appreciate you telling me, but...
Why not? Is there someone else in your heart?
No, it's not that.
Then why? this company is known for its meritocracy and refusal to bow to power. So I can understand why my family's status wouldn't interest you, but...
She seemed really confident. I hesitated over how to phrase my response. To put it simply, you're not my type.
Not your type?
Ching! Reika freezes, drained of color. I really am sorry. There were other reasons, like not knowing her well, but that was the biggest one. It all came down to the fact that I was just really into ugly faces. Sorry for being so blunt, but... Hashimoto, you're a cruel man. Everyone's watching. Yes, we're in the middle of a lunch break. Everyone had gathered to see us. It was Kuwana who spoke to me, by the way. Kuwana sounded just like Doki, but... apparently, his ex-girlfriend frequently cried to him about being cheated on by her new boyfriend. Unlike Doki, though, he was actually a decent guy, a hardworking, unlucky soul.
I deeply apologize!
And just like that, Reika Sayonji's confession turned into a public spectacle. Whether this incident had anything to do with it or not, a few months later, she was assigned to my department.
I deeply apologize for disturbing you, I am... not interested.
Our company, being a venture firm, expects new graduates to start contributing immediately upon assignment. Among them, sales positions initially target small to mid-sized companies where they can directly connect with CEOs. Sayonji quickly hit the wall of cold calling. Even regular women struggle with this and sometimes cry. Could this be too harsh for Sayonji? I thought she might give up quickly, but contrary to my expectations, she kept pushing forward.
Hashimoto, may I have a moment? I'd like to get your opinion on something. During my cold calls earlier, most prospectives hung up before I could even introduce myself. I can't even start a conversation.
Got it. Let's try a roleplay. Can you call my work phone? After each cold call session, I listen to her calls to evaluate her performance. I see. This isn't about the script, it's the voice.
The voice?
They hang up because your voice is too sharp over the phone. You're mostly calling salons, right? Salon owners tend to prefer a calmer tone. You should try to sound more relaxed.
I see. I never considered that.
Try speaking gently and politely. Your script is fine, so I think that alone will make a difference.
Thank you, Hashimoto. Can we practice again?
After practicing with me, she started getting more prospects to listen. She even secured some appointments and began making sales visits. But...
Hashimoto, I'm sorry. I failed my sales pitch.
It's okay. You did your best. I'll be back after my meeting, and we can review it together. Cold calling and in-person sales are different skills. Sayonji kept struggling with closing deals. She does fine in practice, though.
Hashimoto, welcome back.
About 3 hours later, when I returned to the office, Sayonji was practicing her sales pitch at her desk.
I heard you closed a deal in just an hour and a half. And an instant contract, too. Incredible.
Thanks, but it was because of the lead you secured. Yes, today's deal came from Sayonji's appointment. She had already booked 2 successful leads in the past. Alright, let's review. Yokoi, what do you think? The one evaluating her now is my first subordinate, Toranosuke Yokoi, who accompanied her on this meeting. I already told her, but I think it's the wrong industry fit. I see. Sayonji, you chose the salon industry because you're familiar with it, right?
Yes. I love beauty and have studied a lot. I've even tried different treatments abroad.
I see. Salons can't afford unexpected visitors, right? Even if they set aside time for you, I think that pressure gets to you. So you start rushing into technical details too quickly, and it ends up feeling one-sided. Yokoi is 23, younger than me, but since he joined straight out of high school, his sales experience is longer. He's bad at cold calling, so he doesn't hold a title, but his closing skills are solid. Yeah, I get it. When you know a lot about a topic, it's easy to start rambling when nervous. One more thing, when you panic, your fancy way of speaking comes out more. Having a gold-haired, drill-curled lady go on a rapid-fire sales pitch is kind of scary. Yokoi, stop! Oof! He's a tall, slim-built guy over 180 centimeters. He casually says harsh things with a smile. Sorry, I should have caught that earlier. So yeah, I think Yoko is right. We should change industries. We need a field where you have more time and where your personality might actually work in your favor. Alright, from now on, Sayonji, you will...
Huh?
Sayonji widens her eyes in surprise. I nod firmly. A month later, in November. Yes, Sayonji, you did it! Your first deal! On a sales visit where I accompanied her, Sayonji finally landed her first contract. A few steps after leaving the client's office, I couldn't hold back my excitement and stopped to tell her.
Yes! I did it! I can't believe just switching to construction made such a difference.
Yes, I switched our target industry to construction. Sayonji had no prior knowledge or connections there. Construction allows for longer meetings after work. Plus, your personality works well with the older guys in the industry.
I never imagined just being myself would be this effective. And to think they signed on the spot. This was all thanks to your guidance, Hashimoto. I'm truly grateful.
You're the one who kept pushing forward, Sayonji.
No, that's thanks to you as well, Hashimoto. Now I finally understand why you rejected my confession.
Oh.
Back then, I had no charm at all. That's why I wanted to get closer to your type. I wanted to become more attractive. That's what kept me going. Hashimoto, do you think I've become a more attractive woman?
As I saw the hope and doubt in her eyes, an overwhelming sense of regret hit me. If only I had explained myself properly back then. Sayonji, you've always been an attractive woman.
Huh?
It's just that when I said you weren't my type, I have a thing for unconventional looks.
Unconventional looks?
Yeah, my taste in women has always been a little off. From 4th grade to middle school, I was teased by Doki for my taste in women. If people found out who I liked, it meant they would be called unattractive. Every time I saw the girl I liked looking embarrassed or hurt, I began to believe my preferences should stay hidden. I should have told you earlier. I'm sorry. As we talked, Sayonji's ride arrived. Well, I'll be heading off. You did great today.
Hashimoto?
Throughout middle school, I tried to keep my preferences secret, but this time, that secrecy backfired. And so, Sayonji's first contract day ended on a bitter note. But the next day, her client's credit check was approved, and her first official deal was finalized. And then, a week later, I had splurged on a high-end restaurant to celebrate Sayonji's first successful deal. Welcome! Huh? Wait, are you Hashimoto? The waiter who greeted me turned out to be none other than Doki. This is the worst. It's been a while. You never come to reunions. What are you up to these days? I work in sales at an IT company. Anyway, can you show us to our table? It's under the name Hashimoto for 8 p.m. Alright. And this lady is your guest? Yeah. Seriously? You, the guy with a thing for unconventional looks, are on a date with a stunning beauty? Guess you finally woke up. Sayonji's expression shifted at those words. I kept my tone as calm as possible. It should be a table for 3. One of my subordinates is running late because a meeting dragged on. Yeah, I know. I was just joking. No way would you bring a third person on a date. Or then again, maybe you would, since you never really grew out of that weird taste of yours. You seriously need to drop that joke. You're an adult now. Even our classmates and teachers told you to cut it out. Luckily, he was the only one who ever teased me about my taste. Even after repeated warnings, he never stopped. Over time, his personality got worse, and he even got into fights. Eventually, I remember that he no longer had anyone he could call a friend. What? I'm just stating facts. Honestly, having your taste might be a good thing. Because you could build a harem of ugly girls easily. That's not possible with normal preferences. Man, you must be living the dream. Doki, you work in a place like this, but I see you haven't changed at all.
That's quite a narrow-minded perspective.
What? Before I could say anything, Sayonji spoke first. Her gaze was piercing, as if she saw through everything. I held my breath.
So according to you, it's normal to be attracted to beauty, and women who aren't conventionally beautiful are undesirable. And because of that, you assume they'd easily fall for anyone who approaches them. Is that what you're implying?
Well, yeah. What's with the way she talks?
I understand your point. There are certain facial features that are generally preferred. I too believe in that standard and held confidence in my own looks, but I've come to realize how shallow that thinking is.
What are you trying to say?
In short, there are global standards for certain things, and knowing them is part of being educated.
Reika lowers her gaze for a moment as if recalling something. Then, with a small smile, she looks at Doki confidently.
But whether someone finds something attractive is an entirely different matter. There is no absolute answer when it comes to personal preferences. They're essential in shaping who we are as individuals. Therefore, no one has the right to mock another person's preferences. From what I've heard, you've been ridiculing Hashimoto for years over this. That is not only disrespectful to him, but also to those around him. I demand that you apologize.
My apologies, but this is a private matter. If I've offended you, I sincerely apologize. Please, let me escort you to your seats.
Are you listening to me? I said I demand an apology. If this were a private matter, you should have said so in private. But you're currently on duty.
Tch, you little brat. Just because I was being polite, you think you can talk down to me? What are you doing? I deeply apologize. We'll take him to the back immediately. However, Doki is well over 180 centimeters tall. He has a strong build, making it difficult to drag him away. We should probably just leave. Sayonji, Yokoi is on his way here. Would you be okay going somewhere else? Or we can reschedule.
If that's what you wish, Hashimoto. Though, I'd like to visit a more commoner-style restaurant sometime.
Heh, I don't care if you're some fancy rich girl, talking all high and mighty with that weird speech. You work in IT sales, don't you? No real rich girl would ever work there. I refuse to serve the likes of you. At those words, just as I was about to leave, my feet came to a halt. Enough already! I deeply apologize. Please, just leave it be and head home. I don't care what you say about me anymore, but Doki. She's a true lady who understands the value of things. And tonight was supposed to be a celebration for her first successful deal. I don't need an apology, but you will apologize to her. At those words, Doki's face twisted in anger. You've got to be kidding me! Who do you think you are, acting all high and mighty? Like hell I would listen to you, you damn! Doki breaks free from the staff's grip and charges at me. It's a short distance. I had no time to dodge. My cheek burns. The pain quickly intensifies. I realize, with a slight delay, that I've been knocked down. Sayonji, step back. It's not safe. Call the police. I taste blood. My vision sways, but I try to move Sayonji away. What are you doing? Yokoi had arrived. Seeing me about to take another hit, he immediately tackled Doki. You saved me, Yokoi. Damn, you're strong despite being lean. Anytime, boss!
Hashimoto, are you hurt?
Damn it, let go of me! Sayonji helps me up. Doki is still trying to resist, and he's becoming impossible to handle.
Could someone call the manager? I'll contact my father. Huh? Yes.
Huh? Father? You've heard of the Sayonji group, haven't you? She's the only daughter of the main family. What? The Sayonji group is an old financial conglomerate that every Japanese person has heard of at least once. Later, I learned that Sayonji's family was not entirely unrelated to this restaurant.
I've explained the situation. They'll handle the rest. This method is generally frowned upon in business, and I don't particularly like it either. However, my dear one was assaulted in his private life, so I suppose I have no choice.
Wait, dear one?
Yes, unfortunately I was rejected, so it's one-sided, but still.
What? The only daughter of the Sayonji group's main family, a stunning beauty, is into this guy? A sales rep who's into B-tier women?
Is there a problem?
Hey, a mere sales rep? Do you even know who you're talking about? Hashimoto is 25 and already making over 10 million yen a year as a top-performing salesman. What? He's a great guy, makes good money, and honestly, I think he looks amazing. You have no right to belittle someone as outstanding as him.
So, when can we expect your apology?
I'm terribly sorry. At last, we were able to leave the restaurant. Meanwhile, Sayonji's father, the head of the Sayonji group, was furious over how his daughter had been treated. We had to give statements to the police, and as a result, Doki was arrested for assault. Why am I getting arrested? His previous violent incident had been when he was a minor, so normally, this would have been treated as a first offense with a suspended sentence. However, this time, power came into play. Since he showed no remorse and had harmed the daughter of the Sayonji family, the head of the household exerted pressure. Of course, he was also fired from the restaurant. Eventually, even his own family abandoned him. When he gets out, finding another job will be extremely difficult. One would think the restaurant would struggle after such an incident. However, thanks to the Sayonji family's intervention and consideration for the other staff's handling of the situation, the business was allowed to continue operating. I couldn't help but feel a little conflicted about how powerful influence could be when used for the right reasons.
Wow!
That night, at Sayonji's request, we ended up at a casual izakaya instead of a high-end place.
I've always wanted to walk into a place like this and say, I'll start with a beer.
I see. A place like this must feel fresh for you. Alright then. Once again, congratulations on your first successful deal, Sayonji. Cheers! Cheers! Hey, Sayonji, can I ask something? Why'd you even join this company? By the time she had ordered her second beer and was getting hooked on octopus wasabi, Yokoi asked a question we had all been wondering.
I have a quiet and reserved cousin. That cousin once defied her parents and chose to attend a public high school in search of a boy she met as a child. After reuniting with him, she became full of life. Not only that, she even cleared a challenge set by her father and got engaged to the guy. So So I became curious about what the outside world had to offer. That's why I joined this company, which is known for valuing ability over connections. And then, there was someone who arrived at work earlier than anyone else every morning and diligently did his job. Even though he was already skilled, he kept pushing himself. That dedication was truly inspiring. And before I knew it, I had fallen for him.
I had been fixated on increasing my income, craving recognition from others.
It turned out I had been watched all along, Hashimoto. I still like you. I may not be your type, but even so, I will make you fall for me.
Personal taste is just another aspect of individuality. It sounds simple, but it's actually quite profound. This lady taught me that. Wait, could it be that I... And perhaps, one's tastes can unexpectedly change depending on time and circumstances.
Yukoi, I will never lose to you! I had my suspicions, but now it's confirmed! Hashimoto, you're totally into seniors like Yukoi!
The conversation between my two subordinates took an unexpected turn. Huh, even you, Sayonji, won't take Hashimoto from me. Before you get to him, you'll have to get past me, his first subordinate, his mentor in sales, and his right-hand man. Yokoi, don't encourage this. Listen, Sayonji, I was just about to express the feelings that had just begun to bloom inside me. The opposing shouts echoed in the izakaya, and the moment of my confession was...
Hello, Brittany here. I adore Sayonji. You? Go, girl. Go for what you want. Anyways, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye!